Kia ora everyone, today I'm going to be covering some news related to LEGO Star Trek releasing in 2025. I'm a few days late to this, but I did still want to talk about it because I think this update is a pretty big deal. For all those who missed it, a week or so ago, we did learn that the LEGO Icons line will be releasing a Star Trek set for 2025, as well as a LEGO Pirates of the Caribbean Black Pearl remake set. I covered this last week. The info that we had back then was minimal. Now we've got some pretty solid news for Star Trek at least. It's said to come from some rather reliable sources, Max Bauer on YouTube and the Brick Reporter there on Instagram. We may very well have just received some confirmation on the set. Set 10356, the Enterprise D, releasing on Black Friday of 2025, which is very far away, but now we have plenty of time for some planning. There's no price point currently listed, but the piece count is an insane 3,600 pieces in total. This is a massive Enterprise model set. But the best piece of news here though is the minifigure count, obviously, said to include the favourites of Captain Jean-Luc Picard, William Riker, Worf, Geordi LaForge, Data along with Spot the Cat, Dr. Beverly Crusher, Wesley Crusher, Dana Troy, and Guinan, which rounds us out to 9 minifigures in total. So yes, the set is based on Star Trek The Next Generation, which is very exciting because this was a move I did not think LEGO would make. But after thinking about it, it totally does make sense to me given the company's change recently in its target audience. I theorized last week that this would definitely be based on Kirk and the gang from the 60s or possibly the 70s to 90s movies. So it's disappointing that it won't be Kirk and stuff, but I'm happy to report that I was wrong there because Next Generation is just as good. So my new theory is this: I think that the Enterprise D will be the only set we see for Picard and the Next Generation period of Star Trek. If the Star Trek line is to continue in the future, you'll start to see cheaper playsets and a traditional series of releases all based around Kirk and the original crew. With the LEGO group lately targeting adults in the Icons line, I think it makes sense to target them specifically here with an uber expensive first release that only the diehard fans will buy, and then slowly release your smaller models later down the line for the masses. If this is the case, it wouldn't be the first time that a LEGO theme exists first in an adults line and then gets turned into a regular theme later on down the track. We've had sets like Sonic and Ghostbusters both release under the LEGO Ideas banner, and eventually that led to some wider release sets for both themes in the future. Ghostbusters had things like the Brickheads and the Dimensions releases. Those aren't necessarily wide release playsets though, but they were wide release sets, and cheaper too. Sonic, who debuted in LEGO Dimensions and eventually gained an Ideas set, now on the other hand has plenty of options for those who prefer to save their money. I mentioned in my original coverage that I wanted to see some playsets like what Mega Construx made and even what Creo was up to when those movies were coming out. I can see sets like The Bridge making a great playset for fans of the series, and I think a decent compromise here would be having a wide range of Kirk sets and then one UCS type set dedicated for Picard. Let's quickly talk about those pieces and comparisons before we wrap up because I am curious on that as well. Taking a look online, Jabba's sail barge from the LEGO Star Wars line, which released in October of 2024, I believe is a pretty close estimate for us to look at, or at the very least it's the closest one that I could see for a ship-based model design. The set there features 3,900 pieces, which is a couple hundred more than what is projected for the Enterprise, but it is the closest ship-based model that we have right now, so we have a rough idea maybe on the size, weight, and the price. Maybe. The set here is actually quite overpriced. Shocking, right? A LEGO Star Wars set that's too expensive. 500 USD before tax, or here for me in NZ, it's 850 NZD. A different set that I believe fans still say is overpriced is that Dungeons and Dragons set from the Icons line. It released last year in 2024 as well, in the month of April, and that set there retails for 360 USD before tax. Here in NZ, it cost me 550 NZD. I bring this up though because it does have a piece count of 3,745 parts in total, and for those doing the math at home, that is 145 more pieces than what the Enterprise D is set to have. Now I'm making assumptions here because we don't know how much the Star Trek license is costing LEGO, so for the time being, I'm just going to assume that it's about the same as what Hasbro charged for Dungeons and Dragons, so I'm expecting this set to be somewhere between 550 to 600 NZD. That's about it from me today with the Star Trek news. I'm expecting the next time we talk about this will be when images are revealed, and that likely won't happen for a good couple of months now, so until then everyone, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this news-based video, liking this video here and subscribing to the channel does help to support more videos like this one in the future. Ka kite ana everyone, take care, hope to see you all next time.